Hopefully this works this time. That was really fucking stupid what happened in last stream. Okay. I can see your message now, so that's good. Let's hope it doesn't stop like fucking 12 messages in and then just like fucking leave me hanging like, oh fuck. Fucker. Welcome back. So should I repeat what I said before? Because I unlisted the old video, and I think I want to like repeat my repeat what I said before. So I mean, be wise enough. Okay. So I was saying I kind of like the I kind of like the idea of how this game is and how it detached itself from the other Resident Evil games. Like it's a cool idea, and compared to the other games in the series, it's not that it I don't think it replaces what it does. Well, it doesn't replace like the idea of what the other Resident Evils were. And I think with Resident Evil 2 and 3, as much as I like those as remakes, they aren't as much remasters, or not they're not much remasters or reimaginings as they are like remakes. If that makes any sense. Like Final Fantasy VII, for example, the remake for that game, I kind of like how they want to differentiate themselves from what they are going for. Because with Resident Evil 7, or not 7, Final Fantasy VII, the way that works is that it's more, it's not that it's like a turn-based RPG, it's more of an action RPG. And the story wants to go in a different direction from where the original, like, Final Fantasy VII is. If you look at how Resident Evil, or not, if you look at both Resident Evil and Final Fantasy VII, you can see how night and day their approach to making a remake is. Whereas, like, the Final Fantasy VII wants to be its own thing. Resident Evil, on the other hand, wants to
Thank you. What are you buying?
more or less replace what the old games are, if that makes any sense.
Is that Thank you. What are you buying? Is that all? What are you buying? Come back anytime.
God, I hope the comments didn't freeze again like last time. That would fucking suck. Okay, so that's good. Comments didn't freeze. I was worried. I don't understand why people consider the Final Fantasy VII as, or the Final Fantasy VII story as complicated. It's pretty simple from what it is, I guess. Oh. Why didn't I think of doing that before? Look at that. Leon, what are you doing? Oh, good job, Leon. Stay right here. Oh well, at least I tried. Fuck? Oh, there we go. I think what Final Fantasy VII Remake is trying to do is, like, the story is trying to be different in a sense, but not be too different to dissuade, like, different like people who want to be new, like those newcomers to this series. I think they've always been trying to do that since Final Fantasy, but even all the way to up to 10. Like, they've been trying to play it safe and keep it so that they don't get too experimental. It feels like it feels like Kingdom Hearts is the only game that wants to try to experiment in a way. Like as much as people like say that Kingdom Hearts is confusing, at least they kind of they're not afraid of being themselves in a sense. I love Kingdom Hearts too. I don't think I've ever said I hate Kingdom Hearts. There's things I hate about Kingdom Hearts. And it's nothing to do with like the story or the characters. Like I initially thought that before I played the game. I think it's the thing that I hate the most with Kingdom Hearts is that they don't have enough mechanics to let you experiment. Because if you look at compared to like the original Kingdom Hearts and something like even like the best game in the series, Kingdom Hearts 2. They don't give you a lot of options to, they don't even reward you for experimenting either. I think that's the main thing that I'm trying to get at. Compared to 2 and 3, where it feels more like it's flashy, or to just be flashy. Kingdom Hearts 1 felt like it had mechanics and ideas that no other one in the series has done since. I haven't played 3 either. I played a little bit of the demo of it, so... And from what I got from the demos, it's more or less the same as the other Kingdom Hearts, where they aren't bad, or it isn't even like the worst Kingdom Hearts game. It's just that they don't give you a lot of free reign, in a sense. Fucking son of a bitch. Same fucking place, too.
Welcome. Got a selection of... What are you buying? What are you selling? Is that all Ah, I'll buy it. Thank. Ah.
There's gonna be like a Game Center CX episode.
Is that all? Thank. Come back anytime. What are you bought? Is that? Thank you.
But I don't think I really explained myself with Kingdom Hearts entirely. One of the systems that I really liked in Kingdom Hearts 1 was the giving you XP for like dodging, parries, just doing things outside of the box would give you a ton of cool, really cool shit. And one of my favorite fights in Kingdom Hearts 1 is the final boss. Not because I'm like a huge fan of the character, but because there's a lot of really interesting experimental like things you do with that boss fight. And I'm surprised that not a lot of people have really pointed that out, how like ingenious that fight is. I mean, all final bosses usually are like where to test all of your skill, in a sense. But I feel like that it's like one of the most poignant, I guess, boss fights in the entire game. Because it felt like all the other bosses were just more or less like, oh, it's this boss, it's the villain from this Disney movie. There's this character, you need to fight this guy. Ansem felt like it was finally one of the most original type characters. Like, him and Riku have like the really interesting boss fights in that game. I think I once said that Kingdom Hearts needs to do an entire game where they don't use any Disney or any Final Fantasy characters. Because I understand like why people like it. It's the game has always rooted itself as a crossover game. But I feel like it's at its most best when it is fully original. And even as much as people complain about how it's too wacky and it's too confusing, it still is, it feels the best, showcasing Nomura's art style and I guess even his writing in some cases. So you know how it is on the internet, you get fucking crucified for praising Kingdom Hearts creativity. Grab something. Anyway, as I was saying, with Final Fantasy, Chain of Memories is more or less the same as Kingdom Hearts 1 in its story. Okay, finally I got through this section.
Looks like they're backing off.
So, what do we do now?
The bridge I crossed to get here's out. So I guess we have no choice but to keep moving.
I forgot something. You guys go on ahead.
Louis.
I think the card mechanics were an interesting idea, but they kind of failed miserably with how it was executed. At least in the 3D version. The 2D version, I think, is probably good. I've seen people play it, and they think it's a much better game compared to the PS2 one. It's kind of pointless. I thought the ladder would go up to like the roof or something. I didn't really like Birth by Sleep in a sense, but I didn't get too far in that game. I think that it has a cool story, much like Chain of Memories, or not even Chain of Memories. It has a really cool concept and kind of builds upon the story of Kingdom Hearts, obviously.
What are you buying?
But I don't know, I just couldn't get through the gameplay of it. It was just... ugh.
Thank you. What are you buying? Come back anytime.
Obviously, isn't the worst game I ever played, but it's... the PSP was not made for that type of shit. I think what's cool about Kingdom Hearts 3, even if people don't particularly love it, is where they took a lot of the concepts of Birth by Sleep and added them into the game. God damn, that was fucking dope. I'm glad I got the mission fail on that. I think it was Rechain. It's just like
Leon!
that game was made specifically for the Game Boy Advance, so it just kind of doesn't make sense to like try to remake it in the same sense when it's a completely different it's just a completely different dimension and style, really. Fucking serious? Damn it, Ashley. I go through his fucking legs and don't go. Jesus Christ. I know, right? Most of these bosses are kind of interesting. I honestly think like one of the enemies later in the game is the most interesting, where they're both deaf and or no, they're blind, so they can hear you. So if you try shooting, they'll go towards that sound, the area that you shoot from, and they'll go fucking nutty. So what you're supposed to do is get behind them, because they have like a weak point there, but you're also shooting so they can hear you, like, shooting where that direction is. So it's a really interesting, like, it's a chase, is what they call it. There's a lot of really interesting, like, monster designs like that in this game. Where they have, like, deliberate weak points, but you kind of have a disadvantage, too. That was a really hard puzzle.
Welcome. Got a selection of what are you buying?
I'm not sure what my favorite Resident Evil game is, like, out of the entirety. I think I like kind of all of them in their own sort of weird way. Like, I don't have, like, a definitive, like, answer, like, I love this game or that game. I kind of like Resident Evil 2 for its, like, character design, and I like it for, like, how it took a lot of the ideas from the first game and kind of expanded on it. I kind of like the designs in, or not designs, but I like the cityscape of Resident Evil 3. 4, I like this sort of gameplay aspect to it, and I mean, even if like 5 and 6 are like the worst, there's some interesting parts of it, like, to learn from it, which Capcom probably won't learn from. Like, I remember somebody saying that 6 has, like, really interesting mechanics with its guns, and interestingly enough, Shinji Mikami made a game that was kind of like Resident Evil 6 in a sense, where they took the action aspects of it and then put it into a shooting game. So, I forget what Shinji Mikami's game was, but somebody called it Devil May Cry with guns, essentially. Or the Shooting Man's Devil May Cry or something. I can look it up real quick. What is the game? Yeah, it was one of the games that was on. It comes with bundled with Bayonetta. Vanquish, that's what it's called. Yeah, it's interesting that, like, the guy who made the first game, or directed the first Resident Evil, ended up making a really more interesting Resident Evil 6. I think he made Vanquish first before they made Resident Evil 6. So I think it was just more like they were looking at Mikami's, like, track record and was like, okay, we can do that. Ah, shit, I should've gotten the rifle for this. Oh, well. Well, good thing I saved, so if I fuck up and die, it's... Yeah, I will die, maybe. I don't know if I'll use my I'll just sitting there. I don't care. There we go. Holy shit. I'm not dead. You missed that one. There we go. It's kind of weird when, like, you want to die. You're like, wow. It's really hard to die in this game. Jesus Christ. Okay. My chest hurts. I can't even laugh too hard.
Welcome.
Anyway,
Got a selection of...
as I was
What are
saying
you
though, with
buying?
Resident Evil 6 though, like it's not a good game at all. But it's like so weird that people will like defend that game.
Thank you. Is that a... Thank you. Come back anytime.
You go save, just so I don't have to buy that shit all over again when I die. If I die. Oh, fucking hate. Like, it's sitting in a weird position. Oh, there we go. There. Ugh, I got, like, room to breathe. Nah, it's not gonna work. That would've been pretty fucking dope though. Just like turn around, fucking. They already came out with RE3 remake. It just came out like a couple weeks ago. I've heard people say it's like really short though, so. But they also tacked on like another like game with it, so. Well, it's not really like another game, it's just more like a it's like a multiplayer aspect to it, which it's kind of cool. I haven't really seen too much gameplay of it, but it's neat. I honestly don't remember what the multiplayer aspect to RE3 make is. All I remember that is like on a I watched like a Twitch stream of it. It's really interesting.
Ashley,
I thought it was like something out of like Revelations, but they were kind of inspired by Revelations, maybe. Oh lord, the and chat's screwing up again. I guess I have to look at the I have to look at my phone for it. Cause I'm not gonna like fucking end the stream 40 minutes in, so. At least it's during a cutscene I can look at this. So. You get to see the funnies. Damn, he got fucked. Well, at least I can read the chat, so.
You better stay outside. Ashley, go hide.
Kind of fucking stupid how this shit works, so. I think with the thing with these like quick time events and shit is like he died again, even though I pressed the right fucking button. But as I say, like the quick time events kind of showed what they were gonna go towards after this game, which was like Resident Evil
You better
5 and 6, which kind of jumped the shark in a sense. Not this time, fucker.
Hasta luego.
Got him. Let me see. Change the border real quick. If the fucking chat isn't gonna show up, I might as well just do this. Yeah. God damn, I got like fucking everything in this stupid. Fucking serious. Game doesn't rate my controls very well, so. There we go. He's shooting the dick. still around. I was gonna say, I'm gonna shoot his pants off. I like how only one bullet hit him, and one of these parts hit it. Just keep away. Fucking asshole. It wasn't that hard. His eye is the secret puzzle fucker thing. Where's the president's daughter? There she is. So it was just one big fetch quest, really. Fight a mid-boss just so I can go back and... That's pretty cool. Anything's possible in 2000 and whatever this game came out. Bush was in office. Hang on. As far as my as you can see on the third chapter, I think, actually. No, 2-3 or whatever the fuck. I guess this is like Super Mario World now. Fucking. Hang on. I gotta get something. Alright. I don't know what the hell to talk about. Besides just playing the game still.
Welcome. Got a selection of... What are you buying? Is that all? Thank you. What are you buying? Come back anytime.
Very kooky and wacky game. The fuck is this floating in the air like that? Who would do that? Okay. Oh, I'm getting a little tired and kind of hungry, so I think I'll probably end it here. Might as well. Unless anybody wants me to keep going, or what. So I'll still play this game, but I just need to eat right now, so... I mean, I can come back in like maybe an hour or two or something. Hell, maybe I'll play like a little bit of Resident Evil 2 Remake. That'd be fun. Oh boy. Alright. I'm gonna end this. Peace out, homeboy.